Hi, I'm Myra Castro. The Ventura Unified School District is the first district on the Central Coast to utilize funding to launch a clean energy program. And I will take a look on the adoption issues of hydrogen vehicles.
Hi, I'm Dave Compton. The city of Santa Paula buys the Oil Museum for just $1. And what scientists say we should do with the oil platforms off the California coast.
Clean Power Alliance celebrates the largest EV charging infrastructure investment in Ventura County history. And Lompoc Hills powers on as 27 wind turbines will start generating electricity later this month. All these stories and more coming up on this edition of PowerOn.
This episode of Power On is sponsored by California Natural Resources Group, your local energy company meeting California's needs today while expanding us to the green energy future of tomorrow. Ventura Unified School District recently approved a contract for comprehensive solar LED building lighting and sport facility LED lighting. As the first K-12 school district along the Central Coast to leverage Inflation Reduction Act funding, the district will also utilize bond funding to help pay for the project. The project is financially attractive as it will reduce the overall electricity cost by 70% over 30 years. Some of the highlights of the project are solar parking canopy structures, interior and exterior LED lighting and occupancy sensor controls at 9 sites, along with sport field LED lighting at Buena High School and Ventura High School. The VUSD program is expected to save $133 million in energy costs over the lifetime of the project. The district should also be eligible for $14 million in federal funding dollars that will go directly to it after the project is completely constructed. We will be right back after this brief commercial message.
The world is changing, and so is our energy needs. We're proud to be your local energy company leading the way to the green energy future we all desire. We are Cal Energy.
Hi, I'm Dave Compton for PowerOn News. I'm in Carpinteria, California today, and as the U.S. moves to more greener energies, there's a question about what to do about the offshore oil derricks that lie off the California coast.
There are those who argue the unused rigs are an environmental eyesore and should be removed, while on the other side there are people, many of them scientists, who say we should embrace these accidental oases and removing these structures is morally wrong. In other parts of the world, oil rigs have successfully become artificial reefs, in a policy known as rigs to reefs. A recent study has shown the rigs to be some of the most productive ocean habitats in the world, a term that refers to biomass, or the number of fish and other creatures and how much space they take up per unit area. The research showed the rigs to be about 27 times more productive than other natural rocky reefs in California. Subsequent studies have shown that some species of rockfish produce 10 to 100 times more eggs and larvae at these platforms than at natural reefs. That's partly because many big adult fish are being caught by the fishers at the natural rocky reefs, but less so at the rigs, where they have more protection.
The oil rigs off the California coast were built between 1967 and 1989. Of the 27 that were constructed, 15 of them are still in production.
The County of Santa Barbara has given the final go-ahead to turn them on. So now the Lompoc Hills are about to start providing wind-generated electricity from newly built turbines. The Strauss Wind Energy Project construction is complete, and now it has permission to operate the 27 turbines they have built. Each turbine is more than 400 feet tall, and the project is expected to generate enough electricity to power about 36,000 homes. The development is on private land and connected to the PG&E grid. The plan went through an intensive review for cultural and environmental impacts. The last step being confirmation from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, as the site has numerous sensitive species, several listed species, and of course, the golden eagle. Golden eagles are a protective species, so additional research was needed. The Fish and Wildlife Service will closely monitor eagle activity and report of any bird deaths or habitat disturbances. The project should be operational by mid-November.
California's plan to reach net zero emissions by 2045 calls for a huge expansion of clean hydrogen. It's expected to play a central role in removing emissions from heavy-duty vehicles in particular. But when it is compared to traditional gas-burning cars, hydrogen is dwarfed by plug-in electric vehicles. There are only 65 refueling stations and about 14,000 fuel cell electric vehicles on the road in California presently. There were nearly 292,000 electric cars sold in the state this year alone. Automakers and refueling station representatives had complaints of their own, ranging from hydrogen shortages to supply chain problems to a dramatic drop in the value of low-carbon fuel standard credit that affect prices at the pump. California was recently selected by the federal government to be part of a national hydrogen network that is intended to address all those things and more, but it won't be easy. Only time will tell if hydrogen will be widely adopted by the public.
The City Council of Santa Paula has voted to buy the oil museum right behind me for $1 and also pay $10 for the contents inside.
The city will also receive a $2 million grant if it prepares a plan describing what needs to be repaired and how much it costs. The grant must be used on repairs described in the plan. If there's any unused grant money 24 months after the deal, the amount will be placed in an endowment fund for the building maintenance, repair, and improvements. The building is about 130 years old and was the headquarters and birthplace of Union Oil. The foundation running the museum closed it in September of 2021 because of financial hardships resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic.
The Clean Power Alliance has joined with Ventura County and City of Moorpark officials to celebrate the largest single electric vehicle charging infrastructure investment in Ventura County history. A total of $4.8 million has been allocated for publicly accessible EV charging stations throughout the county. Half of the overall infrastructure investment is dedicated to EV chargers located in low-income and disadvantaged communities, areas that have generally had fewer home charging options, and where publicly accessible charging infrastructure provides opportunity. The project also promotes access to electric vehicle charging in commercial spaces by providing sizable rebates for both DC fast and level 2 chargers. Rebates are highest for installations in low-income and disadvantaged communities, providing up to $80,000 per publicly available DC fast charger and up to $6,000 per level 2 connector.
Well, that's it for this edition of Power On. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button. On behalf of myself, Olivia Simonson, David Compton, and everyone else here at Power On, thanks for watching.